All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I've got an update, and I also have a correction of the record. I did a video the other day about Gervonta Davis and the situation with his coach, Calvin Ford. I have spoken with somebody on Gervonta Davis's team, and I have an update and a clarification for you on the video. But at the same time, I also want to talk about what is happening moving forward with the Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 135-pound division where we have a correction and we also have some new information and a little bit of explanation about what's going on in Gervonta Davis's camp. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks, which is the little $ at the bottom with a comment. It really does go a long way towards helping your favorite content creators continue to do what you enjoy them doing. But let's get on to this. Now, first, let me give you the correction. In a video where I talked about the update on Gervonta Davis's trainer, there was again speculation that Gervonta Davis had fired Calvin Ford, that there was issues with Calvin Ford. This time, the issue with Calvin Ford came around a video that had emerged, and this video was in Upton Gym, and it showed Ring Magazine giving equipment to kids in Upton Gym, which is the gym in Baltimore, Maryland that Gervonta Davis fights out of, that Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis train out of, right? So basically they were saying, hey, Turkey Al-Sheikh owns Ring Magazine. And so this looks like Gervonta Davis is being portrayed by Calvin Ford. Is this why Calvin Ford is in Baltimore and Gervonta Davis is down in Florida with Kevin Cunningham? You know, same story, different day. Same story, different day. Something is going wrong in Gervonta Davis's camp that causes him to break from Calvin Ford. Now, here's the correction that I have to make to the video that I did before. When I did the original video before, I was told that Calvin Ford was in Florida and that Coach Calvin Ford and the trainer that they're working with down in Florida, Kevin Cunningham, that they were working together and getting stuff together for Gervonta Davis's fight. Well, I received a message from somebody that is in Upton Gym that is very, very close to Coach Calvin and Calvin Ford. She's basically the gym mother of Upton Gym, goes by the name of Miss Reed. I won't say her first name, but her name is Miss Reed. And she let me know that no, Calvin Ford still is in Baltimore and Calvin Ford is not in Florida. However, she said that there is no issue going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis, and it's basically everything is the same as it was, and not to listen to any of that nonsense. Now, it should be understood, though, that there's a reason why Gervonta Davis is in Florida and why Gervonta Davis is not in Baltimore training. Why is that? Because Gervonta Davis is on probation. Now, if you don't recall, several years ago, Gervonta Davis was involved in a hit and run. And as a result of this hit and run, he wound up doing time behind bars. I don't want to say jail or prison because people get mad when I say jail and it's really, really prison. He wound up being behind bars and subsequently having given probation. Earlier this year, Gervonta Davis, without permission of his probation officer and the judge, traveled from Florida to Baltimore. As a result of that, he had his probation extended another 18 months. So it's easy to understand why Gervonta Davis would not be in Baltimore and why he would be in Florida with Kevin Cunningham, because he has a home in Florida, and that's where the judge told him he had to stay unless he has specific permission to come up and go different places. That's just what a result of that hit and run that he had several years ago. And that could wind up, that's in a situation where he winds up in Florida and Coach Calvin is in Baltimore. But why else would Coach Calvin Ford be in Baltimore? He'd be in Baltimore because Upton Gym is the love of his life. And he has a bunch of amateurs in that gym. And those guys are training and spend as much time working in amateur boxing as they do in professional boxing. They have several professionals out of that gym, but they've got a whole gym full of amateurs that go around winning national championships, run around becoming Golden Gloves. That's where they have to spend their time. And it's very unfair, I think, for any time you see Calvin Ford in one room and Gervonta Davis in another state, that it has to be interpreted as if Gervonta Davis fired Calvin Ford. I just think that is a very unreasonable and ridiculous leap that is consistently put out there to try to cause disruption inside those people's camp. How many fights has it been in a row that Gervonta Davis was going to fire Calvin Ford? How many videos was it before when they said Gervonta Davis was leaving Floyd Mayweather? How many fights was it before he actually left? Right? It was a long time. So I'm sure that if you keep saying it enough, eventually there'll be a time when Gervonta Davis isn't working with Calvin Ford. So I guess if you say it for the next 4 years and it winds up happening in year 5, hey, man, I guess you were right the whole time. No, you weren't. You were just slinging mud at this dude's name the entire time. But, it is what it is. It has been confirmed that there's no difference. There's nothing happening with Coach Calvin and Kenny Ellis with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis said it himself the last time. He said Calvin Ford is not going anywhere. I think he said that's Pops, right? That's basically like a father figure to him. But there's nothing wrong with him training with other trainers, doing gloves with the guy down in Atlanta. What is his name? I can't remember his name. Wears the Islamic garb. He was working out with him, and then boom, he's going to be his trainer. Whatever the case is, man, we're going to find out for sure what happens when these guys have this fight. Hopefully we can get this fight in August, August 16th, like the date it has been rumored to be. And we see Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis back in that corner. Now, I will tell you, the interesting thing for me is going to be whether or not we're going to see another trainer in still in the corner with Gervonta. Are you going to see Barry Hunter again in the corner with Gervonta? If you don't see, that's the only question that I really have about the trainer is Barry Hunter going to stay with that team? And, to be honest with you, I don't know, and I don't think he will. But that's my take anyway. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.